Hello fellow Total Warriors, I am Zardar and welcome to another online battle from Warhammer 2. So this one is featuring Amovehacker and it's actually from Iron Thunder's tournament, and he's playing up against Kark, which I posted one battle of his earlier a few days back, and I can tell for sure that Kark is actually a really goddamn good player. And so is Amovehacker, and he really knows his dwarfs, alright? He even knows what kind of beard lotion they use. So I trust him when I see him with actually a geometry build. Whenever I see that on multiplayer on quick battles, I'm like, oh my god, am I playing with a newbie? Because most of the time that's how it ends. But if I see somebody as experienced as Amovehacker using this formation, I'm quite sure that he has a reason, and it's gonna actually work. I hope, at least. So yeah, let's take a look at Amovehacker's army, which composes of 4 Longbeards in the front line. We also got a Rune Lord over here with nothing at all, not even the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Over back here we have 3 units of Iron Drakes with Trollhammer torpedoes, which are anti-large. They really do some heavy lifting if they get their hands into any target. The only hard thing is to actually make it to protect them, but honestly, if you just play with your lines, just keep them, just dragging them back, keep them on guard mode, so even if a couple of units are fighting, just a couple of shots from these guys like point blank will just bring down any target. So we also get a unit of Quarrelers, 1 unit of Thunderers, and 1 cannon back here just to provide even more anti-large, and 2 units of Slayers. One is a normal one and the other one is a Giant Slayer unit. Over even further back we have 3 units of Miners. 2 are with blasting charges, 1 is normal, and on the flanks over here we have 2 units of Dwarven Warriors. So let's take a look to Kark's army. So up here in the air we have 2 units of Harpies, great harassing tools. I always prefer them, to be honest, than Warhounds, because they can get anywhere they want, and the Warhounds will find trouble against, for example, such a formation. Like, you really have to be on top of your play, and yeah, they're just not gonna get in there, at least at the time that you want them, in order not for your front line to take too much damage. We also got a Brave Shaman of Beasts back here with just the Manticore Summon and the Flock of Doom. Those Manticores are gonna be so obnoxious, but actually, anyway, I think they're needed in order to shut down such a strong backline missile. Alright, for the front line we have 3 units of Bestigors mixed in with 2 units of Goreherds with shields. Bestigors are just an amazing anti-infantry. Well, they're not anti-infantry, but yeah, they're just good at dealing with infantry, and yeah, that armor piercing can compete with even hammerers. Like they will just prove their worth even against those guys, but there is not any on this army at the moment. Mixed in there, as we said, 2 units of Ungor Spearmen with shields, which these guys have more melee defense than the standard one, and they're not meant to kill anything. As you can see, 3 units of Razor Gore Herds are backing the best Gore Herds, because Kark is obviously aiming to break through the lines wherever his Bestigors are. These guys are just there to tie down some opponents. You don't have to win the whole front line, you just have to win a few gaps. And yeah, this is pretty much it. And let's not forget Morgur with just the Chaos Spawn Summon, both the passive and the passive and the normal one. Okay, whatever. And let's see what we got in the backline. Over there we have 1 unit of Ungor Herd. Over here we have another one. What is this? Goreherd with shields and 2 units of Centigors. Kark was obviously expecting some Vanguard deployment over here, some deployment, not Vanguard, over here. And this is the reason he went so heavy on this flank and not so much on this one. So great move by Amovehacker, just even those tiny details, just avoiding even the simple ones where your enemy is expecting you to be. So let's begin over here. We're gonna take a look at the cannons, just inflicting some early damage. As you can see, there's a minor hill over here, so the shots are not gonna going that well in. But as soon as these guys see the enemy lines, I don't think life is gonna be so beautiful anymore. Everything is gonna seem quite in vain. Alright, so we have a few thunders just opening fire there. Oh, and here comes the troll hammer torpedoes. Oh, even if these guys are anti-large, they will still do really good damage against an unshielded unit, and it proves over here. I'm quite sure these guys, yeah, they're down to half health bus just by a few shots, but Kark is gonna follow up with a Rezogor herd, and he's just gonna even out the fight over here. As you can see, these guys went in with half health, and now the Longbeards have half health because of these guys, but then again these guys are getting beaten too, but whatever. Back here the Harpies are gonna try to shut down the Trollhammer torpedoes. The same is gonna be happening on the other side, but the giant slayers over here and the normal slayers from this side are just gonna be on top of their play, because even if they don't have anti-infantry, these guys, if you know, the Harpies are infantry size, they're still unarmored, so they will just chop them down really hard. A Chaos Spawn is going down over here, just trying to shut down the cannon and the Trollhammer torpedoes. But honestly, these guys are obviously in the guard mode right now, so this is what I'm talking about. They're just shooting point blank, and all that Amovehacker has to do is just move them here. That's all they need to, that's how far they need to get, and just start shooting again, and these guys will melt. So a total mayhem going into the front line, slayers all over the place, Chaos Spawn just trying to get the kills, and in the end actually dying from the brave red bearded dwarfs. And yeah, Flock of Doom also going down. I think there was a Manticore Summon, there it is, just trying to get a few Trollhammer torpedoes, but Amovehacker, even though this is a geometry build and you cannot see always the geometry builds ending up into a cluster fluff, he has his archer line still firing, but the back line is now getting compromised because Amovehacker had to strafe in order to face the Ungo herd. Probably kind of a mistake happened here, which gives the option for the Centigors to get into these Trollhammer torpedoes along with the Thunderers back here. And now Morgor is also harassing these hammer torpedoes, and even more Centigors and rallied Harpies are coming in. The balance of power is still deadly even, and yeah, everything is looking grim, but the Dwarfs are actually have won the frontline engagement, and it seems they're gonna win the right flank of theirs at the moment, because these Trollhammer torpedoes with the Quarlers are free to shoot over here. And as I said, if these guys, even if these guys are anti-large, if they get their hands into any unshielded target, they will just melt it. It doesn't matter what it is, if they get enough shots, that is. Now the Razorgord herd is not gonna have any of that though. Ooh, they were aiming for these guys, but they actually decided to go over there. And oh, actually they got rampants, that's why they strafed. They should have been going here, not there. Yeah, the Centigors are gonna be seeing that the Razorgord didn't do the job, and they're just gonna try to get this thing done by themselves. Obviously they're not gonna have an easy business, because there's just a lot of dwarfs here. There's some miners just to mindlessly throw them in there, and so the Quarlers can just pull back together with the Trollhammer torpedoes and start opening fire again. The Trollhammer torpedoes over here just trying to form up a line. As I told you, they just don't need to get like far over here. They just need to just be clear of a few of their few of the men in front of them, and they're gonna open fire here on the Centigors, and it's just gonna be brutal. Over here on this side, Morgor is fighting alongside his last of the Chaos Spawn, but both of the Slayers are here, Giant Slayers and normal ones, and they're just gonna melt this thing straight away. Not even the Ungor herd, Ungor Spearmen will be able to hold. We also got some leftover Longbeards over here, and the Rune Lord is marching back to his men in order to rally them and just deliver them to glory. And as you can see, he beheads one Ungor Spearman over here. Some Bestigors are fighting all alone. How many are there? Like it's gotta be like 10 Bestigors over here, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna crumble. They shatter actually. So, or is it these ones? Okay, it's this one. They're just spread all over the place. So the balance of power is actually just ticking back and forth. It was in favor of the Dwarfs, but as soon as we get a nasty charge over here by the Centigors, it actually goes back. But it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. The Beastmen, they cannot rely on the early damage. Like if you don't inflict enough damage when your units go in for the first time, you're not gonna like what's gonna follow up next, because they have a leadership problem, and the more damage the unit gets, the more hard it's gonna be to keep it on the ground. So you really wanna do that much of early damage in order for the balance of power to be in your favor. at least a little bit, so these guys will not start to rally all over the place. And this is what's happening over here. Like these Bestigor herds, even with 2000 HP left, they're just gonna fall back. I'm quite sure they're gonna be coming back, but at the time they will, most of these things are gonna be left for dead. And as we can see over here, the quarters, the Trollhammer torpedoes still have enough of their ammunition. That Ungor herd over there has been broken. These Ungor spearmen will be too, and so are these ones. And now Amovehacker is free to just start reforming lines in order to get those Bestigors over here. And as you can see, as soon as he realizes that one unit is actually rallying, like this is on top top microplay, and you always want to do that. Just don't abandon your rallied men. Look all over the map always, and just make sure the moment they rally, they will start doing some work. And the same goes for this one. As soon as they rally, they will start getting some shots into the backline of the Bestigor over here, and this is exactly what happens. The order just went off immediately. Amovehacker is not gonna let that Thunder, that how many? 18 Thunder go to waste, because a couple shots in the back actually just wiped that Bestigor. And now the Trollhammer torpedoes together with the Quarterlers and the rest of the staff will be able to just have a party with them. Have a party on them, actually, to be more precise. And now all that remains, even if the balance of power is still in the middle, a little bit in the favor of the Dwarfs, though, yeah, it's just Morgor. And what Amovehacker really needs to do here is just pull back his forces and just have like a crossfire, just shooting all over Morgor, and just not bother, like pull these guys back. What else is there on the map? I mean, there's some Gore herds with seals over here, there's some more Ungor herd over here, but that is pretty much it. And these Longbeards will just deal with them quite easily, and the Rune Lord over here as well. Like, Morgor is just the only thing that's keeping the balance of power a little bit in the favor, not in the favor, steady. But as soon as he starts to go down and these units are about to shatter, it's gonna start shifting more and more into his favor. So I'm just gonna fast forward here because it's only this guy, and yeah, the Slayers now they're disengaging when they lost like a couple of men, and they're just gonna go back and just let the Trollhammer torpedoes and all of the rest to finish him off via range. So that was one hell of a battle. Like that initial charge was brutal. Kark was on top of his play. He went all in at the same time, which is always what you need to be doing. He delivered some early damage, but Amovehacker just kept it all together. He didn't lose faith in the DAWI have no gods, but they have paragons, don't they? Oh no, that's a wrong franchise. Or whatever. I'm gonna stop speaking about lore. Yeah. So for Kark's army, 87 kills for Morgor, pretty damn nice. I'm quite sure if the summons actually added up over on him, it would be even more. Bray Salmon, he got unlucky, he got caught by Slayers and they just chopped him down, and also that cannonball in the back of his was brutal and quite fun, to be honest. The Ungor Spearmen did quite well. I told you they're just there to hold the line. These guys as well, just harassing the back line. 132 kills. These guys probably went off against miners. It doesn't make sense otherwise. These guys getting more kills even from the Bestigors that were fighting relatively inferior units. Not relatively, inferior units. They can't, Longbeards cannot compete with the Bestigors in a 1v1 situation, especially when they have Razorgore heads in their back. The Razorgore didn't do that well, as we see over here, although they delivered some really good HP damage. Perhaps he needed a little bit more chariots, but I'm quite happy that he didn't, because everything you see against the Dwarfs is just freaking chariots. The Centigores did quite decently, not that great, and the Harpies, they didn't do much. They're just there to shut down anything in the backline, so these guys can do the real killing. And for the Dwarfs, like, yeah, amazing play. Like, the cannon kept firing till the end. The Trollhammer torpedoes got interrupted all of the time, got shut down, but then a few seconds later, Amovehacker was just moving just 3 steps back and just starting opening fire again, which is actually really tricky for the enemy to realize that, because you send the order, you click the order, it happens, you see all of these guys like shut down. then you move them like only 3 steps back. You don't need to move them any longer. Just 3 steps back with guard mode, and you try to see them again. They're still close to your unit, but you know, they're actually just 3 feet away, which makes them able to shoot. Their missiles are not that visible, so if they're shooting, you can see it if you're high up on your with the camera. And yeah, that's what happens in these kind of situations if you are on top of your micro and you just pay attention to the smallest of details. And the Dwarven front line just did really well, and the Giant Slayers just absolutely nailed it, just doing some really heavy lifting. So that was it, guys. I really hope you oh my god, I just saw the name. Lols. Anyway, as I said, I really hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like or a comment. Feel free to subscribe if you're not, and hit that notification button. And yeah, I'm gonna be seeing you next time. Bye bye.